So, hello, good morning. Welcome to this live event. I hope you are all safe and with enough strength to reach the end of this difficult school year. As you already know, the 5th of June is dedicated to the environment. All over the world, numerous of events are organized to raise awareness on the importance of environmental issues. Creative Classroom Group always is keeping an eye on what we can do to raise this awareness, environmental awareness to our students. So we had the idea to invite Mrs. Afentoulidou from the environmental let me explain all her biography to you and let me introduce to you her and then I will give the floor to Anna. So Mrs. Afentoulidou has been graduated from the Pedagogical Department of Primary Education of Aristotle University in Thessaloniki, Greece. She holds postgraduate studies at the Pedagogical Department of Democritus University of Thrace in the field of language and culture. Since 2015, she is a doctor of the Department of Preschool Education at the University of Thessaloniki, and the title of her doctoral dissertation is Gianni Rodari, Evgenios Trevisa's Subversive Aspects of Their Work. She worked as a teacher in primary education for some years, and then she became a head of school activities in the Directorate of Primary Education in Xanthi, Greece. Since October 2018, she has been serving as coordinator of education for the sustainability of East Macedonia Thrace. She has made announcements at scientific conferences and workshops. She has taken part in animations and events, while she has attended numerous seminars, including a 300-hour program of FECPA entitled Museum Education. She's a student at the Department of Italian Language and Philology at the Philosophy Department of the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, lifelong learner, so Mrs. Afentoulidou. Her interests focus on children's literature, museum education, Italian language and culture, with emphasis on their interdisciplinary and interartistic utilization in institutions of formal and non-formal education. So Mrs. Afentoulidou is today with us to present to us an environmental sensitization project. A message from a lost spaceman, a group of children researching the ecological footprint of a polluted planet, and a transformation. By leaving their own footprint, they transform it into the planet of their dreams and they find the lost spaceman in it. So, Mrs. Afentoulidou, welcome to the Creative Classroom e-twinning live event, and the floor is yours.
Hello, welcome to our space event for celebrating Environment Day. I want to thank all of you for being here, and I want to thank Angelica Kuyuruki for the invitation and for her faith in me. I also want to thank Zoe Theodosaki, he isn't here, but for her translation help assistance of this presentation. I wouldn't have made it without her. And I want to apologize in advance and ask for your understanding because my English is not good and I will probably confuse them with other languages. I have been studying Italian. So this project, and I share my screen now. This project here.
Anna, I will close my camera in case you want anything. I will be here, no worries. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So, this project I will present is part of thematic network that was developed and took place the last 2 years, school years, in kindergarten and elementary schools. Mission Impossible, ecological footprint. Oh, I have the Greek one. I must stop this and I must go on with the other here. Share screen, the English version. Okay, we are here. So, our Our aims. Our aims is learning and sensitization towards contemporary issues and problems, aiming at protection of the environment and safeguarding of cultural heritage. Cultivating empathy, acceptance and interaction with the other, aiming at peaceful and harmonious coexistence. The most important, the yellow, the development of imagination and creativity in order to be able to imagine a different world. Also, observation and sensitization towards artistic creations, visual, literary, musical, acquaintance with their creators. Aesthetic enjoyment and release of the creative forces in the production of text, musical works, artistic creation, theatrical expression, etc. So, the approach was experimental. That means that we used theatrical performance, dramatizations, role plays, artistic creations, acquaintance with various painting techniques, creative writing, continuation of stories, but also creation of new ones, linguistic games using various techniques, musical kinetic games, and music songs. The main idea is based on the words of Cosimo, the protagonist of the Byron in the Trees, a book of Italo Calvino, and he says, anyone who wishes to look closely at the earth must keep at a necessary distance. So, sustainability, and the core themes of sustainability are culture, health education, and environment, the natural environment. Today we are going to make focus on this, on the environment, and the key word is footprint. So, how do we start? We start with a storytelling framework. There is a fiction. A letter comes in tiny writing or a drawing, and we are forced to use magnifying lens to read it. The letter is from a man of the future, and the only message written or drawn says, "Help, I'm trapped on the polluted planet. Search for footprints to save me." Three small steps. The meaning of Zoom and becoming global researchers. But how are we going to travel in space? And what is a footprint? So we start with the first small step, the meaning of Zoom. We become global researchers, and that needs some preparation. What is a researcher? What are we searching for in the world? Why are we searching it? Researcher costume, mask and gloves, magnifying lens. And we are working with the concepts of close, far away, perspective, the forest and the tree. So we read Zoom, and we will see Zoom in YouTube, and then we can see what we can do. So I stop, I make a stop sharing to go to YouTube and share my screen here. Where is YouTube? Here. Okay, share. Zoom is a wordless book. Is a very clever silent book, and nothing seems as it is. Observe the pictures. We're making the opposite of Zoom. to step far away from this, from the first first picture. away. So, and So I make stop sharing and I will share again the presentation. So zoom into something in the book and make it the starting point of a whole story. We can choose a person or an object, a snapshot, and build stories. And after that we can dramatize them. How do seemingly unknown people relate to each other? What is the connection between them? Why do we wear costumes and researchers? Why do researchers wear a costume? Current issues with mask and gloves. How do we make a magnifying lens? There are too many websites that show us how to do it. The second small step, how we going to travel? So, the stories, children's literature is the inspiration. My favorite writer, Gianni Rodari, suggests to travel with a taxi or with an elevator for the stars. But there are also other way, like Phileas Fogg with a hot air balloon, or like Peter Pan, or with a normal spaceship. And the third small step, we land on the planet where the astronaut is trapped, and we are starting to searching for his footprint. What are we doing? We observe the ugly footprint existing in the environment and we leave our beautiful footprint. So my aim is, with my lens, to observe the ecological footprint, to correct it, and to leave a new footprint, and at least and finally enjoy it. We can play a floor game, and we can leave obvious body footprints with arms and legs. In kindergarten and first classes of primary school we can dance and sing head and shoulders. We can play with saluting gestures in coronavirus time, with fists, with elbows, with legs. And also we can discuss and find, what do I do with my hands? What do I do with my legs? A positive footprint, a hug, a score, and a negative footprint, a hit and a kick. And the journey begins, but without music, no, we use music for our journey. Music from Galaxy Song, Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, or from Star Trek or Marvel Stories soundtracks. We choose to use and to play with artworks related to the universe, Van Gogh Café Terrace at Night, or Kandinsky Several Circles, or Van Gogh Starry Night. And as soon as we reach the planet, the images on the planet of polluted landscapes look like the images in the tempered artworks. How can we correct the artwork? How would we draw them? What measures can we take to save the planet from total disaster? So we take action to change the landscape. First of all, how do we approach an artwork? Making zoom, making a frame to observe the details. Using visible and after using visible thinking routine, see, think, wonder. What do you see? What do you think is going on, and what does it make you wonder? And arrival at the polluted planet. We see two paintings, two artworks. On the left is Claude Monet's painting, the original, the Japanese bridge over the water lilies in his favorite garden in Giverny. And on the left we see a revolutionary reading a parody, a transformation from Banksy. Banksy is a pseudonym of a British graffiti artist, a political activist, and film director. So Banksy created something different of Giverny Pont and the Bridge titled Show Me the Money. Uptown shopping carts from supermarkets, modern society's consumption temples, and orange traffic cones. This way, Banksy comments on consumerism culture and criticizes the commercialization of art and laments on environmental collapse. But Banksy has transformed also Van Gogh's sunflower, and he named it Sunflowers from Petrol Station, and we can use also this painting. Or Vetrianos, the singing butler, who became beach rescue from Banksy. So after these activities with the artworks and the visible thinking routine, how we explore more the polluted planet? We can play sensory games. How does polluted nature smell, the clean one? I listen to the sounds of the polluted planet. I contrast them to the sounds of clean nature. We can play nature blindfold. I close my eyes and I'm asked to describe what I see in the polluted planet. The others draw it. But we can discuss and draw with the polluted planet nature palette. What colors does it have? Or we can make a role play. What if I were a bird in this environment? What if I were a tree? And we can see also the water. We can see other activities that concerns water through an interdisciplinary approach. The water cycle, mapping local waters, water in religions, the rain, saving water, water in monuments, water pollution, water in our language, water in music, water experiments, and water-based constructions like rainstick. But the water exists also in virtual poesy. The Italian poet Govoni has made here The Diver, where he combines words and designs. And our mission to transform this planet. We can use a book, a children's book, The Wandering Park of Papa Theodoulou. So in this book, if says the back cover, if on a Sunday you open the window and see an entire park in the middle of the street, don't be scared. It's the Wandering Park. Metsus Fani, Petros Manthos, 42 trees, 1 parrot, 1 pence, 2 transpins, a retired forest guard, and a stall with oranges. What did you say? Impossible? Well, nothing is impossible. So, I discuss my dream garden. What does it contain? I can map my schoolyard. How is it? Sounds, colors, materials. How I would like it to be. We can, in learning creating stations, we can work. In a pot there are folded papers with themes. I choose and I work on e.g. aromatic plants, trees, recycling, or theater games. The enchanted garden. A magical musical instrument brings a wilded garden to life, like the Orpheus myth. Orpheus singing and playing was so beautiful that animals and even trees and rocks moved about him in dance, if you remember. And what would happen if Rodari's technique? Gianni Rodari has a Bible for me, the book The Grammar of Fantasy, and he suggests ways to create stories. So, what would happen if all the trees were the same? What would happen if all flowers had the same color? What would our garden be like? We can sing off-day songs or play with art, Vivaldi's Four Seasons, and draw them, collage with seeds, or draw the lyrics of the above songs. And we can combining recycling and art, nature and beauty, Matisse in recycled paper, waters in bowls, a mixer, sift, scrap paper and small pieces, and let's go. We leave the paper to dry well, and our new paper is ready. Our creations will be depicted on it. And here we can see it. It's works from my students once upon a time. Matisse on recycled paper. And literature, and Gianni Rodari. There are two books, a tree called Paolino. You see the boy and his hair are a tree, or the plant that made slippers, La pianta delle pantofole, and we can use them and discuss, play with them. We can also discuss the greenhouses of Hundertwasser, and we can also draw on the wall into the frames or make a different wall map with the city, the landscape, the planet of our dreams. And we can also make eco houses. My favorite house, the black tent of the Arabs, an imaginary building, a house after Hundertwasser, a house in harmony with the environment. Drama activities, role play. The children become inhabitants of this planet and hold a plastic badge with their role. They hold a meeting and explain how the planet came to this. The citizens, the children, what they did and what they didn't do. Or a child becomes a piece of rubbish and tells the story of how he found himself together with other rubbish in the streets. Another play is Interrogator's Chair. We interrogate someone who polluted the environment, and we go deeper into his motives or emotions. And a flashback play, parallel or not action in 3 parts, an evolving event in past, in present and in future. What have we seen until now? A letter from us, the diagram of the project. So, a letter from astronaut asking help to be found in space. We see zoom and zoom in. We become explorers of space universe. Then the fairy tales and the stories help us to find how we are going to travel in space, by taxi, by elevator, by spaceship, and the journey starts. Traveling, space, and footprints, the ugly footprint and the beautiful that we live, the ecological footprint that brings us to the new universe. And we finally discover the footprint of the astronaut. Where? In the transformed planet. And we built that planet. So we can see here what our children, our students have made. And the last letter from the astronaut is, you made it. You saved me and the strange planet. You are a real researcher, explorer of the world. You can even save the Earth. But now let's celebrate. And we can organize a planet party with all the goodies. We can also write a letter to the astronaut and send it. And what if the astronaut appears in this party? Oh, he's welcome. And these are two books, two excellent books we can use. This is translated in Greece. If you come to Earth and if you had your birthday party on the moon. And so, e quindi uscimmo a rivedere le stelle dall'inferno di Dante, and thence we came forth to see again the stars, as Dante says. Thank you very much. Angelica.
Yes, Anna, I am here. Thank you so much. I was preparing a kind of gallop or so for the participants to share with us which one of the activities find more easier or interesting or inspiring to implement with their students. So just give me a minute to share it, to share the link with all of you. You can go to the Mentimeter and do the
I can hear you clear.
Oh, is it okay now?
There is a noise.
Is it okay
Better.
now? Okay, so thank you so much. Everything was very interesting and inspiring, and I think that all of us could do something with our students in advantage with your ideas. Taking advantage of your ideas, and then maybe we should do a follow-up activity in the group. Maybe we should challenge the members of the creative classroom group to do something of what you presented and post it in a Padlet. What do you think, Anna?
Oh, it's a great idea.
Yes. And Ifer asks if we could get your email address. Is it possible? Is it possible? So you can write it in the chat box.
Certain. I will write it
Perfect.
here. Yes. There it is.
Okay, thank you so much. And here is the link for the participants to join the Mentimeter and tell us what kind of, which one of the suggested activities do you intend to implement with your students. I will share my screen and see what are the participants sharing with us. Okay.
That Menti is great.
Yes, Menti is great for this purpose. Yes, indeed. So, give me a second to be there in the Mentimeter. And now I will share my screen and see what is happening there. Okay, so do you see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
So come on. The code is 34, 69, 78, and 3. Let's write it also in the chat box. 34, 69, 78, and 3. Here it is. And follow the Mentimeter link that I wrote in the chat box and let us know which one of the activities do you intend to do with your students. So zoom frame, planted tree, greening, picture, come on. Or which one of the activities maybe you did the previous week, because as we can see that today is Saturday, we cannot reach our students, but we maybe some of you could do it during the previous week, or you plan to do it in the next week. All are inspiring. So Anna, congratulations, all of them are inspiring ideas.
Thank you.
Let's see what new we have here. Okay, so I will stop sharing and I will post also you can keep on writing. I will post later on the word cloud in the Creative Classroom page. And in case you have any question, you can post it in the chat box or raise up your hand and I will open for you the microphone. So is there any question that you would like to do to Mrs. Afentoulidou? I can see very great comments here, great ideas and excellent ideas. So I think this is a good idea, Anna, to have a Padlet and as a follow-up to this live event, we should challenge them to do something of the suggested ideas with the students and post them in a Padlet, which we will share with you, of course. Okay?
Okay, I will
Yeah.
wait for for this
Yes,
after
after
project.
project.